All right, I'm showing green on OBS. We'll wait for it to turn green on YouTube here really quick. And we're green. Okay. Well, we're orange, but it will turn green as soon as the broadband catches up. Okay. What's going on, my eccentric council members? I feel like it's been forever since I've talked to you guys. Maybe it's just a really long weekend for me. I hope everybody's weekend went really well. I was in Indianapolis. I think I mentioned that in a prior video for my brother's brother-in-law's wedding. He asked me to film it for him. First wedding I've had to do. I feel like I'm the opposite of Tim Dodd. Tim Dodd went from filming weddings to being a YouTuber. I'm going from being a YouTuber to filming weddings. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a good time. We'll see how fun it is to edit all that footage I took though. So yeah, busy weekend, and then next weekend, Carrie is dragging me, kicking and screaming, to Disney World. Yeah, I know, right? Sounds terrible. I know. I'm gonna ride Space Mountain like 3,000 times. It's basically all I'm gonna do, besides eat. Eating is fun too. And then not the next weekend, but the weekend after that, I'm gonna be in Illinois for that National Science Teacher Convention. All right. So speaking of the groom, so yeah, busy few weeks for me. I'm looking forward to, as soon as that conference is over. It's kind of it's I say now that it's going to be easier because I don't have anything like big scheduled, but something will come up, and which isn't necessarily a bad thing that I'm staying so busy, especially in such a kind of a downtime with SpaceX right now. Speaking of that, let's talk about that right now. All right, so going over our analytics for. Oh, by the way, welcome all new council members. We'll talk more about new patrons too here in a second. But so the analytics for the YouTube channel over the last 30 days. Actually, this is for the month of October, so we're not done with the month yet. So keep that in mind. Let me start off by saying, ever since Elon's Starship presentation at the end of, what was that? That was September 28th or 29th, somewhere around there. Ever since that was finished, it was the hype for the SpaceX community and space community was like elevated, and then it was over and it started to drop a little bit. Not like too bad. But then SpaceX was supposed to launch a Starlink mission this month. They were supposed to possibly launch Starship to 20 kilometers. And since those never happened, that small decline in enthusiasm and hype among the community members after the presentation just took a steep drop. And we're basically back to where we were at the beginning of the summer before people started getting hyped for the presentation. So we're kind of in a dead period right now, and it's weird because I talked to Lewis from Lab Padre a few weeks ago on the phone, and unsolicitedly he just tells me, he's like, "Hey, how's your subscribers doing?" Because I'm losing subscribers on my channel. Like, he said he lost like 15 a day or something, and I was like, well, I don't think I've lost any. I'm sure I probably had a few trickle out every now and then, but I always have more come up, and so I've always been in the positive. I'm always gaining more. So that's just one thing that I keep in mind, knowing that it's just a reminder that we're in this kind of, and I told him this, we're in like this weird, perfect storm, kind of a dead period with SpaceX that nobody saw coming, because we were expecting to have a couple launches by now, and for Starship to launch, and Starlink. But I say perfect storm because it's more than just no launches. I made a list of a few things that kind of coalesce together to like curb everyone's enthusiasm and just kind of make this kind of a bummer kind of a time that shouldn't have happened. So after the presentation, we have that natural decline in enthusiasm, but then it was accelerated by no launches, no major news. Like, we've had news. I've been able to still put out short SpaceX and the news videos twice a week, although I'll talk more about that later. But we've had no breaking news, no major news. And like the cherry on top, or the poopy cherry on top, I should say, is the fact that the tornadoes went through Boca Chica and knocked out power for a lot of the locals. So Lab Padre couldn't stream there for a while. I think they just got back up like yesterday. And I think Maria Pointer still doesn't have internet access, so she hasn't been putting anything up. So there's not much for me to broadcast on local wise in Boca Chica. And of course, not much is really going on at the Cocoa side either. So it's kind of like this imperfect storm of just, a dead period for SpaceX. So that's kind of natural for, Lab Padre and my channel and everybody's channel. I've noticed that everybody's like, we're just not getting the views that we once got. And it's to be expected in this kind of situation. But the good news is that as soon as Starlink starts to launch again and Starship starts to get rolling again, or back up to or gets to 20 kilometers, we're going to see that hype go right back through the roof, and we'll be back on track. But these are the numbers for, and we shouldn't see another dead period like this for at least another 5 to 10 years, I'd say, because as soon as Starlink missions start going, they're going to launch like one every other week. And of course, Starship is going to have a lot of testing in its future too, especially at the rate that Elon wants to do these Mark prototypes. Okay, so we were down for October so far 27%. Of course, these numbers will be a little bit better by the end of the month, but we were down 27% with views. Our subs were down to almost 50%. We typically get 10,000 subscribers a month. This month, we only got 6,000 subscribers, but I'm still grateful. That's still really great. A year ago, I never would have imagined I would have gotten 6,000 a month when I was, struggling to get 100 a month. But yeah, because we had no SpaceX launches, it's so weird that we also had no live videos to I don't know. It's just no live videos for October, or did we have any in September? I don't know. It feels like, I think we didn't have any in September really either, except for when I was in Boca Chica, I did a live video, but that wasn't of the launch. But we still managed to pump out 7 Patreon videos though. We'll probably have about 9 or 10 by the end of this month, if you include this one and the live Q&A that I'm going to do tomorrow. And I'm hoping, all right, I'm not going to say hope. I am going to do another Kerbal video. I promise. I keep saying that and I feel bad, but man, it's just been so hectic lately. I tested, like Kerbal did another update, so I tested it today. I opened up the game just to make sure I didn't have to like reinstall all my, all my mods, because whenever that happens, it's a pain. But we were good, so I'm determined to do a Kerbal video for you guys here on Patreon in the next couple days. But here's the good news though, and this is what's really important. Even though the community across the spectrum with everyone's channel is on, they're not on the decline, because we're all still, well, I don't know if we're all still, but I'm still getting subscribers, obviously. But Patreon, October showed the most support in Patreon we've ever seen. We had 87 new patrons this month so far, which is crazy. I think up until now, like the most I gotten was like 50 or 60. So we creamed it. So that's awesome. The community's growing here on Patreon, which is great. And I'm going to talk about why that's so great actually right now. So let's talk about what we can expect for the rest of October and November. So first of all, because of our loyal supporters here on Patreon, I was able to purchase some new equipment for the channel. I purchased I wish I had the box here, but I don't. I purchased a 4K camcorder. All right. So up until now, I was using a DSLR camera, a Canon 80D that I bought in the spring. And it's nice for taking pictures. It's nice for video too, but it's not practical when I'm doing SpaceX in the news, because every 30 minutes it cuts off and I have to restart it and then resync it with the audio. So I bought a 4K camcorder. It's a Sony, and I tested it out this weekend when I went to Indiana for the wedding, and I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. I've yet to actually hook it up to my computer and use the Elgato Cam Link to make it a live video camera. So I still got to work on that stuff, but I'm liking what I got so far. It was like it's a Sony AX700. It's the model's a couple years old, but it's great. It's a great camera, and I think it was like $1,700 or something like that. So it's not cheap, and because of you guys, I can upgrade to that kind of stuff. And I also, if you saw a few weeks back, I posted like a wish list for my first PC build. Well, I did more research on it thanks to you guys, and I found out that there's really no reason to wait if I got the funds on that, because with my new camera, I decided to upgrade my DaVinci Resolve editing software. So now I'm running the Blackmagic 16 version, and when I did my last SpaceX in the news video, my laptop that I use for all my editing was struggling with this new software. So it all kind of worked out, because by that time I had already ordered all my parts for the PC that I'm going to be building, and I'm gonna put together like a unboxing video and a review video for the Sony. I've already started on that for the camcorder. I'm gonna do the same thing for this PC build. I'm gonna do, and I'll give you guys the specs. But I decided to go with the AMD, actually, the newest one that came out, I think, a couple months ago. The AMD I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right now. It's right here. What one is this? 3500, is that the right one? 3900X. 3900X. The Ryzen 3900X. So it's the best. It's like the best CPU that you can buy right now for gaming and video editing. A lot of people argue, and I think some people did it on the Patreon, for Intel, the equivalent on Intel, which is like the 9000 or something like that. It's been a couple weeks since I looked at this stuff, because I purchased it and I was done with it, so I can't. It's not fresh in my mind, but I was 9000K, I think is what it was for the Intel. But I learned from my research that is a great one for gaming. But if you want to do gaming and editing, you should go with AMD. So I got that one, and I even found out that AMD is releasing a new CPU next month. It's supposed to be in November. That's a step up from the one I got. But this one, you couldn't even find. I just got lucky with the timing, because like the day I started shopping for it, they couldn't find it, and the day after, I found out through a news release on my homepage that select stores had them, like Best Buy. So I was able to snag one up for this model. So I didn't want to wait till the end of spring to get a new CPU, when I could just get the newest one as of right now until next month, which is probably more than what I need power wise anyway. And then I also got the best gaming card you can get right now. It's the I'm struggling with these numbers right now. It's the GeForce. It's the best GPU you can get. Oh, 2080 Ti? Yeah, 2080 Ti. If you would have asked me these numbers in these models like a week ago, I would have been able to spit them off, because I've been doing so much research. So yeah, this computer I'm going to build, if I build it right, because I've never built one before, is going to be a beast. I'm pretty confident it's going to be more than what I actually need, but I want this computer to last like a decade. So I'm excited for it, and I can't wait to make that video and show you guys. Be able to do Kerbal Space Program 2 in like 8K or something ridiculous. Okay. Again, that's all because of YouTube. That's all YouTube money that allowed me to purchase that stuff. So thank you guys. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, we talked about the rest of this week. Okay, so next weekend, like I said, Carrie's dragging me to Disney World, so we'll leave on Thursday, and usually I do my SpaceX and news videos for Saturdays. I record them and write them and everything on Fridays, and the news has been kind of dead lately, so I'm thinking I might do my 61st episode for Wednesday like I typically do, but I'm thinking we might skip this weekend. I'm still not set on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. We'll see. If some breaking news drops, it's pretty big news, I'll probably still do it. I'll find a way. But I've been reading in my, like, I don't typically read my comments in YouTube, but the ones I have been reading, some people are asking why my videos are so short. I think it's kind of obvious why, because there's just not that much news. But and here's the thing. People are like, well, you could you could talk more and just give us your input, and that's cool. And I like to do a little bit of that, but I mean, from the very beginning of doing these videos, people like watching these videos, at least the majority of people, because they just want to get the rapid fire news. That's why I'm so quick about it, because that's why people watch my videos. Not everybody. Some people like what I have to say. So I do try to add a little bit of that, but most people just want the whole rapid fire, what's going on with SpaceX, so they can get on with their week, because they don't have time to look it up themselves, and they just like my videos because it's an all-encompassing, quick, rundown of what happened with SpaceX this week, and then they can get back to their lives. But so my videos have been short because I don't want to, drag them out, and I don't have a whole lot of news to talk about right now. So I'm thinking it might not be a bad thing if I skip next weekend anyway. I'd prefer to skip Wednesday, but just because I'll be gone on the weekend, it won't make sense to do that. So we'll see how it goes. We'll kind of spitball that. And then something that myself and a couple of my patrons have been working on are new rendered instructions for the Lego build back there. The community, you guys have been so awesome. I don't know what tier these guys are at, but that helped me with this. But I got like 5 or 6 people, offered to make like nice computer animated or computer drawn up Lego instructions instead of the crappy picture ones that I did like a year ago. And so it looks like we're gonna have like 2 different versions of that I'll be sharing this week. They're both done. They're just like finalizing it right now. So they should be done by tomorrow, but I'll probably post them here in the next couple of days on Patreon. That way, maybe people can build with more confidence. They are really good, though. I was quite impressed by the artistic ability of these guys. My community is so awesome, man. You guys are great. So we got that this week. So for the rest of the month, like I said, in 2 weekends, I'm going to Indiana, I was just in Indiana, Illinois. And because I have a wireless mic that I bought a couple months ago, I'll be recording my presentation that I'm going to be giving all these science teachers. It's crazy, man. I taught science for 3 years. And although granted, I taught way more than what a normal typical science teacher would teach. Usually teachers teach like 1 or 2 subjects, and they just teach that, repeat it a few times throughout the day. I taught like up to 7 subjects in a day. So I really hammered the books when I was a teacher. So I can hold my own, but it's just crazy that I only taught for 3 years, and yet I'm going to be teaching these science teachers that a lot of them have 20 years on the job. It's going to be nuts. But I'm going to record that for you guys, and I'll share that with you guys. I might even put that on YouTube, to be honest. We'll see how it goes. I still haven't wrote my speech yet, but I'm going to spend like a good day or two really working on that speech I'm going to give, that presentation. Because here's the thing, like I love, even as a teacher, I love writing out my lesson plans or what I'm going to talk about, my presentations. I love doing that. I really get in the zone, and I really hammer out some pretty good details when I'm scripting it all out. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. But I'll be spending, after I get back from Disney World, I'm going to be spending some time really writing a good presentation, because here's the thing, I have to compete with Scott Manley. He's going to be there too doing it. And so maybe a Patreon exclusive video I want to do on there is a little one-on-one with Scott Manley. That would be awesome, because they're actually putting on, they're doing a special 2-day thing for me and Scott Manley. We're going to be doing the presentation on the second day for all the teachers at the conference. But the day before that, they decided to do a last minute, hey, will you and Scott come and do like a community meet and greet and tell us about yourselves? So Scott and I should have some time together to maybe get personal, which will be fun. It'll be cool to see how that ends up. So I'll get you guys some behind the scenes video of that little trip. Also, whenever the Starlink Mission 1 decides to launch, I want to release a Starlink documentary like the day of or the day before, probably the day before. So just like I did a Starship documentary, I want to do a Starlink one. It'll probably be a little bit shorter. I think my Starlink one or my Starship one was like 12 minutes. There's just not that much to talk about with Starlink. I mean, there is, but not compared to Starship. So I'm thinking it'll probably be like 8 to 10 minutes long, but I want to release that. the day before Starlink Mission 1 launches, whenever that is. So that's something I'll be paying attention to and working on hopefully this month. It's supposed to launch, or I'm sorry, next month. It's supposed to launch in November sometime. It was supposed to launch in October, but yeah, what are you going to do? And then hopefully we have more live launches than that. Hopefully we get more than one. I think we're supposed to have two as of right now. One Starlink, maybe two Starlinks, and then I can't remember the name of the mission, but it's like a satellite launch, just normal satellite launch. And I know there's another resupply mission in the International Space Station too, a cargo dragon mission coming up, but I can't tell you a date for that. Okay. So, man, that was 20 minutes. I spitballed that in 20 minutes. That was a lot to go over. Yeah, guys. So I guess you can, to summarize, you can expect me to be on here for the next few days, putting up some new videos, and then after Wednesday, I'll probably be on a little. I'll take some pictures and stuff. Maybe I'll be able to share something with you guys when I'm in the hotel or whatever. If you don't follow me on Instagram or Twitter, definitely be on there, especially Instagram, because I'll probably get some pics of Carrie doing stupid things, and I mean me doing stupid things and Carrie taking the pictures when we're in Disney World. Yeah, the word stupid and Carrie just it doesn't go together. Kevin and stupid does though. But so yeah, thank you guys again for all the support you show my channel, especially during these dead times. I mean, the increase that we've gotten in our personal community here on Patreon has been so awesome. It gives me such confidence and motivation to really keep hammering this out. It's going to be a hectic few weeks, but I'm really looking forward to experiencing it and sharing it with you guys. I guess we'll call it right there. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow at 8 p.m. for our live Q&A. So if you have any questions that you want to ask ahead of time, or if you can't make it, just head on over to Discord and ask your questions on the appropriate channel. It's like live Q&A or whatever. I'm not sure. Yeah, again, I apologize. This was kind of last minute this month because it's been so hectic, but next month, I promise for November, I'm going to get the dates out really early, probably next week. I'll give you guys a heads up, and it's going to be a weekend during the afternoon sometime for both these live videos that I do for you guys. All right. Have a great rest of your weekend, which is just a few hours, and I'll see you guys in a couple of days. God bless you guys. See you later. Turn off. There we go. I got it. Freaked out for him.